The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Cali Sportsman, WDC is now on your radio. Coming live from the Bay, yeah, that way. They talk sports all day, LA. Dropping knowledge, high school, college, trying to score play-by-play. NFL, NBA, NHL, that's right, you name it. They gon' bring it to you live. Talking sports and entertainment, from the famous and the you name it. Cover all sports, from the football field.
Good evening. Welcome to Sports Collective TV. I'm your host and moderator. I'm Farron, aka WDC. I want to thank you for listening in. As always, we have a very spectacular, important show for you right here on Morris Media Live, Mondays at 5 o'clock. Make sure you check out the social media at Sports Collective Media on Facebook and Instagram. Again, if you've been checking the highlights, we got some segments here today, kicking off with some Above the Net, as the volleyball segment. And then we got a sickle cell segment here with my man Jody. We're going to talk about some sickle cell traits, sickle cell disease conversation. And he said he played basketball for a little bit, but didn't make the cut, you said?
Didn't make the cut.
All right. So we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to come back with our guest and talk about her 20-second timeout sports segment, about her around her basketball conversation. So, again, I don't do this by myself. As you can see, the deck is always full. My man, Cali Sportsman, what's the count, man? How you doing?
Hey, another day in the neighborhood. You know how we do it. I actually really like sitting here because I feel shorter for some reason. I got high heel socks on, and I'm trying to figure out why the person sitting next to me seems a little taller. Anybody got a pillow up in the back? Okay. Oh, let me just.
You need Caldwell. What's called? We need Caldwell's pillow.
I feel like I'm in pain when I do this, though. So, you know, yeah, it's really about these special folks that we bring on here to this show. And young lady next to me, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Magdalena and I'm from Croatia and I'm 6'4". Play volleyball at CSUN, Cal State University Northridge, and that's pretty much it.
Cool. Did you hear she said she was 6'4"?
Yeah.
That's why you short.
No. We gotta get new chairs in here. We need sponsors. We need new chairs.
You need a chair with a crank on
something wrong. I feel like I'm in the handicap seat somewhere and it just shrink down on me. Something ain't right. This ain't right. Jesus, help us.
You about to get posted. Right. You about to get posted up.
I played some volleyball too in my day. All
right. So before this first break, let's cover some quick highlights. I mean, for me, I think what's most important is Carmelo Anthony. Man, comes back, gets Player of the Month.
Yeah.
For the Western Conference. I mean, I think that's pretty good. Anybody got some?
Portland looks better now.
Well, you know, they gave him somebody, and Fredo kind of probably can understand this. They gave him somebody, and that somebody was Howard. Howard showed you how you can come back as a has-been player, come to a city, be able to get the love, and I think that was a good imaging and mirroring for Carmelo is to come in, because Carmelo's a hard personality. So he came in, humbled himself, and, man, he put the numbers up and showed that, hey, if you still want to play in this league, just be humble, and it can still happen if you got the talent to do it.
What you got for us?
Me, well, at CSUN, I saw him a couple times. He, worked out, it was August or September, I'm not sure. And I saw him, I met him once, and it was just, short conversation, but, I saw that he is serious about it. He wants to come back and stuff.
Made his comeback. Yeah. Jody, you said Portland is doing what? They
doing a lot better now, and he don't mind coming off the bench. He said he almost gave it up in his first game. He said he almost gave it up until Portland called him. So he resurrected his career.
I think he's doing pretty good. I think I'm a fan.
I like to see him and Lala get back together.
They are together.
They together. They back together.
Oh, okay. Hey, Instagram, y'all gotta help me out.
No,
she got
wondering. They back together.
And she got killed off.
I've been wondering. She running around in Lake Texas. And they're back. Y'all need to hold hands and go to eat some cake or something.
All right. So
anyway,
NFL. My man Jody here is a Broncos fan. How's your Broncos doing, man?
We suck, but I still love my team. We won last night against San Diego, so.
What are y'all missing?
Oh, our quarterback just got off the IR, so we doing good. Had he started from game 1, season 1, we would have been in the playoffs.
He already said San Diego. There ain't no team in San Diego no more, so we kind of know.
No, the Chargers.
The Chargers.
They are like Chargers now. I know.
I'm having flashbacks because they should have stayed in San Diego.
Hey, they should have stayed in San Diego because that's going to be a hard fix. But shout out, Fredo, to your boy. What is he? K? What's from the Chargers? Matt?
Ooh.
The guy in charge of Sosa Field. So we're going to be here at Sports Collective Media. We're going to be part of selling Charger tickets. What's the guy? Matt? Max. So Max over at Sosa Field, 2020 season. We already got it landed out. We got $50 seats. We're going to try to put it together. So that's a to be continued on Sports Collective Media. You heard it here live. Ask Ilya. I'm sick something.
What about the Rams
I
tickets?
sit up a little bit.
What about the Rams? Nobody care about the Rams.
They're going to the...
The Rams fan, he's not here. Shouts out to Don. Don's not here. He's a Rams fan. We don't care about the Rams. You say you watch, but you don't have a favorite team, but you watch pretty much?
Yeah, last night, like, I think LSU was playing. I just watched a couple minutes. Yeah,
college football.
Yeah.
Shout out to Auburn from beating Alabama.
Anyways, what your Raiders do, man?
They got faded out.
They got to win a lot of games.
40 to, what was the score?
You know, I was feeling good the fact that they really wanted to just do really good based on the fact that win or loss, they do really good. I mean, and I take the last week loss because they just got really whooped on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they really did, but they played, you know. So, I mean, that's all you can really ask when your team is what it is. Right, I mean, you a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Hey,
right?
we can make a comeback, so we
I'm
good.
just saying, you just got to love them for who they are.
They better without being Roethlisberger.
But I'm telling you, this.
Well, he should have retired a long time ago anyway.
The college football, man, they got some licks out there. Boy, these cats is hitting hard all across the league. Is just banging them up. They might not even make it to the league.
So shouts out to Don, man. We're gonna get Don on the show, man, to get some college sports taken care of for us. So,
P4E.
Shout out to P4E. Actually, she plays with Don in the women's group. We're gonna talk about.
And volleyball?
Yeah. So we're gonna do the volleyball segment first.
Volleyball. Okay.
And then we hit up the basketball. So all right. So we're gonna take this first break. Shout out to again Don P4E. Make sure you stay tuned. Coming up with the Above the Net segment right here on Sports Collective TV. Shout us out.
AskIlya.com. Media marketing experts here to help you grow your business into the next level and boost your sales. Visit us to learn more. AskIlya.com.
Last time that I checked, it was 5 chains on my neck. It was no smut on my rap.
Yeah, so my name is King Q. I'm born and raised in Los Angeles, California. I'm an empowerment speaker. I'm a youth advocate, and I'm a host. I do a multitude of different things. Event producer, spoken word artist. Got to plug that as well. So
so it's good to have these organizations that are creating events that are organically to be able to get people to socialize, to communicate, to talk. Where did you get all that mental toughness?
For me, it's been learned throughout trial and error, to be honest. About 2.5, maybe 3 years ago, I made a decision, and I said I don't want to do anything that's not in alignment with my purpose. In order to reach purpose, you have to go through trial. So for me, I just learned to embrace the trial, and for me, my trial, my rock bottom was homelessness. So that gave me a whole nother level of mental toughness.
Voice out west, legendary self-made progress. Last time that I checked,
My name is John Bailey. Been coming to WJ Med Spa for several years now. I've had facials all over the United States and other countries, and Regina has always been my favorite person. I see her once a month, minimum, once a month, and she's absolutely wonderful. I know as you get older and as you age and mature, your skin needs to be attended to, and Regina serves that purpose in a tremendous fashion. And I just feel my skin feels rejuvenated, moisturized, and she takes care of the sun. I don't have sunscreen. I play a lot of golf, and my skin is smooth.
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.
All right, welcome back to Sports Active TV. I'm your host, Mater Farhan, aka WDC. This is a segment that I've created. You know, as a sports collective, we talk about so many different sports. So I gave some of these segments some titles. And so this one here is Above the Net. This is a volleyball segment. And who better have to kick this off is a volleyball player from locally in our community here. So please, again, introduce yourself.
My name is Magdalena. I'm on a CSUN volleyball team, freshman. I'm 19 years old, 6'4". My position is opposite hitter, and that's pretty much
Okay, so let's go back in time. So where are you from?
I'm from Europe, Croatia. I came to America when I was junior in high school, so this will be my third year. Yeah. I'm living in Los Angeles, and
hold on. How was that transition from Europe to United States?
It's really different, like different lifestyle. People are different. Just everything. Like I had to make some adjustments for sure.
And so when you say different, as far as I know culture wise, but how we behave, how we talk, what do you see?
Yeah, behavior, talk, and then also way more opportunities, for sports, for example. Okay. Yeah. Croatia is pretty small country, and reason why I came here is to find a college scholarship to play sports and get a degree at the same time.
Okay.
Back home you can't do that.
So what was your sports atmosphere like back at home? Did you play volleyball?
So I started volleyball in 8th grade, and I played basketball in high school. Okay. So I played both.
So what got you involved in volleyball?
Well, I first started in the 4th grade, but then I didn't like it. I switched to tennis, gymnastics, swimming. I was playing all sports. And then in 8th grade, my coach decided to call my mother, and because it's a small city, and I'm the tall one. So he called my mother saying hey, if the money is problem, I don't care. I will pay for her. She doesn't have to pay anything. Just bring her here, please, and let's work on her because she has a talent. And she was okay, I'll try, but I'm not sure if she likes volleyball. So I just went there, and he put me in the oldest group, with a actual woman, because I was just a girl.
Yeah.
And I got scared because they were hitting hard and all of that, but I kept pushing, so after a month I was actually playing, and came on a national team and stuff.
So the height, where does the height come from?
Yeah.
Parents or?
My uncles, they're twins. They're 7 feet, and then my mom is 6. My dad is 6'3", and my grandpa is 6'3". It's just in the family.
So you got 2 uncles that are 7 feet tall?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And your mom's 6 feet tall?
Yes.
And your dad's how tall?
6'3".
6'3", so no wonder
and
he's 6'4".
His brothers, like 6 of his brothers are like 6'3" too.
So the height spurt, when did that, what age did that start? Like, were you this, how tall were you?
Like since I was born, like in every grade, I would be the tallest in the line. Yeah. Boys too. Taller than boys, everybody.
So
just always.
We know that our peers are rough on us, right?
Yeah,
so how did you deal with any of the name calling? I mean,
well, I was bullied a lot,
Yeah.
a lot in middle school. Like it was just scary. Like because I was skinny too. I was really skinny. Like people were thinking that I'm anorexic, but I wasn't. Like it's just like our genes, like in the family, are like tall and skinny, and that's it. But then in 8th grade and freshman year of high school, I started like developing like hips and all that, and I like was playing volleyball, so like muscles. So people stopped teasing me. Yeah.
But they've already teased you. So how did you deal with that mentally?
So like this day, like I'm grateful like to God that I was bullied, because if I wasn't, I don't think I would be strong, because like it really made me strong. Like to this day, like nothing like will hurt me. Like it's really hard to hurt my feelings right now because of that.
What's the flip side of that? Does that bother you with connecting with people now, because now you're kind of guarded, or?
Yes, so I don't let my guard down anymore. Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest. Like it's hard for me to trust people. Like it's really, really hard for me to trust people. And like if somebody says like, "Hey, you're pretty. I love your height," I would just be like, "Thanks," but I won't really believe that.
Because y'all bullied me back in the day.
Yeah. Back in the day, it was rough. Really scary.
And our peers are rough on us at those ages.
But there's only like 2 outcomes when you're being bullied, like, or like go like different way, like being sad forever and stuff, or you can like turn it your favor and just like be strong.
Now, did you use all that energy from the bulliers to your sports athletics? Did you prove them wrong?
Yes, pretty much, yes. I agree.
Okay. You wanted to come to the United States. When did that vision start?
That vision started when I was even like in middle school, when I was really young, because like in Croatia, there's not a lot of opportunities like for sports and stuff. So and like when you were little, like back home, you see all these American movies, American high school and all that, and it becomes kind of your dream. So since I was little, I was like, oh, I want to go to the United States, I want to go to America, that's dream and stuff like that. But I never really like thought that it was really going to happen. So like in 8th grade and in my high school back home, I just started praying to God, because I was like, God, like, please help me. Like, I really, really want this. I don't see future in my country. Like, please just like, I don't know. I was waiting for a miracle. Like, I really was. And I like was working hard, and now I'm here. Like, I really feel blessed.
And here
like,
you are.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that mental toughness. And we talked about, of course, the bullying that creates that drive. But what do you equate your mental toughness to? Your family members, your pops? Like, who do you...
To be 100 with you.
All right.
God and myself. Yeah, like back home, like it's pretty rough, you know, like too, like my parents are really strict, and they weren't really for me like coming here, because you know, I was like 17, young and stuff, young, naive, all that. They were scared, but I was like, just trust me, like I don't see anything else but going right now, like leaving you guys and going right now, like just please let me go. And then they were like, we see that you really want it, like here you go, here's your plane ticket, just
so they
go.
got you the ticket?
Yeah.
And you had family on this side? Like,
I really no, just by myself.
So you just literally came out here?
Yeah, no family in America, like any state, nothing. And everybody's back home.
How about your English? How did you...
So in Croatia, you have to learn English since like 1st grade, but we have our own native language. But in school, you have like English class and like you write essays and everything. They teach you grammar, but they teach us British English.
British English.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get here, 17. You're 19. This is like 2 years almost, going in 3 years.
Yeah.
What happened when you touched down in Los Angeles?
Yeah. To be honest with you, it wasn't what I expected. It was pretty rough. So my high school ended up shutting down my senior year of high school in February. And then I had to like find a solution. What am I going to do? Because it was middle of second semester. No school would want me because I'm senior. It's middle of semester. And I wasn't like paying for high school and all that. So it was in Riverside. So when I got here, like I was placed in host family, and like the system is like school pays the host family to host you.
Okay.
And I was like playing sports for them. So me and one Serbian girl, we like won CIF and all of that. So that was pretty cool. But
so you come to LA and Riverside, and you win a CIF?
Yeah.
In volleyball?
Yes, in volleyball. And then in basketball, we lost in like playoffs or something. But like the host family system, my personal experience is not good. But I talked to other international students from other schools. They like their experience, but mine wasn't really. Like you just like you have to get lucky to get a good host family.
Yeah.
You know, because not every family is doing it. Like for a child, they pretty much doing it just for the money.
For the money, of course.
Yeah.
So now you got to deal with that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Wow. So CIF, obviously, is that what got you into the college? So how did you transition into college?
So when I was back home, I was playing for a national team, and I already had offers back home, but nothing from California. I had like Bowling Green State University, Seattle U. I had like around 20 college scholarships, all D1. And then reason why I came here is like one coach in Croatia, he told me like, if you come to school in high school in America, like you will get like way more, maybe even some better schools, because they're going to recruit you from there. They're not going to have to like, hey, send me video and stuff like that.
Right.
So I came here and I got like a couple more, and CSUN was my only like full scholarship in California. So I committed to them.
Yeah. And how's it playing at CSUN for you?
I like the program. We started in August. For 2 weeks, we had like double days, you know, so it was pretty different for me because in high school and in club volleyball, you have like 3 practices a week or something. And here at college, it's like 2 times a day, every day.
2 times a day, every day?
Yeah, but not anymore. That was in August, 2 times a day. So our season ended last Thursday in Hawaii.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it was fun in Hawaii. That my first time in Hawaii. It's college level, so this year was kind of like, you know, I was adjusting to it. It was hard.
So how was that? You said describe it as being hard. So what was different from your high school to?
I honestly didn't know that. Like when I was in high school, there is so much detail, like in volleyball, like so many little details, like rotations. What kind of sets do you want for your setter to set you, and like serving and everything is just like on a whole another level. So I was like, whoa, this is deep. Like now I really gotta work.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what did you do to get your mind set on the college level?
My motto is always like just keep pushing, no matter how hard it gets. Just keep pushing. And that's how I did it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So what's your above the net? What are you chasing for the volleyball?
What am I chasing?
Career?
So well, my original dream or plan or goal or whatever was to be a professional volleyball player. That was back home. But then, and when I came here, but like living here, like this is my 3rd year already, and I kind of like that dream kind of like faded away because I started looking into like deeper future. So after professional volleyball career, I would like to work in United States. And like a way to do that is just after college start like looking for a job. But if I go professionally, then there is a risk that I won't be able to come back to United States. So like my dream is still to be a professional volleyball player, but there's also like, what am I gonna do after it? Like I don't want to work in Croatia.
You looking for dual status, or is that possible? Or
it is possible, but it's like really hard. Like I have to get a green card, and in order to get a green card, you have to like be really smart or work like play for NBA. So they're gonna get you green card, of course. So that's why like I switched my majors too. I switched my major to engineering. So that's why like if I end up like looking for a job after college, I'll most likely get it because like females are wanted in engineering.
Of course. Fredo, I got some pictures. Let's talk about these pictures real quick before we take this break. This is above the net right here.
Yeah, above the net.
What is going on here?
I'm just spiking the ball. You know, that girl like that turned around. She was the one that set the ball like behind her back, and then I just do 1, 2, 3.
So she faked it out, like back here, but you really kind of you came from okay, got you. All right, let's see what is that. All right, so
this was a warm up. I don't know why my eyes are closed. I'm rolling my eyes in that picture. Probably I missed a ball or something. So I was like,
So what do you tell yourself when you think you have these bad plays? Like, how do you recover?
How do I recover? That's a tough question. Well, I just tell myself, just ignore it. Like, next play. Even though, like, coach is on the sideline, probably, like, or yelling at you or rolling his eyes. Like, you just have to, like, really have a strong mindset, like, so he doesn't, like, impact your mindset, your strong mindset.
Definitely. We got one more, Fredo, I think. No, not the basketball. Not yet. No, not the basketball. Only the volleyball. And here, what is that?
This was a media day, so that's, like, a picture for a roster, you know. Okay. That was, like, in the beginning of the season. Yeah.
So you guys, the season is done.
Yeah.
So what are you doing for volleyball right now? You guys.
So we have break until end of the January, like 21st or 22nd January. We start again, lifting, conditioning, and practicing. Then we have a spring season, which is not as serious as fall season. We will have games, but it's not gonna count to our record or anything like that.
Okay.
So,
What do you want to say to the people, the young women listening? That the courage that you have, this dream to come to the United States. I mean, this is stuff you see in movies. That dream to come to the United States and even fulfill it. With a CIF championship. So what do you want to tell the young women?
I want to tell them that if they have same or similar dream, just like if you believe it, like it's gonna happen. Like trust me, like. I believed it and it happened and it was just crazy. It's like the best feeling ever. Like just keep pushing, keep praying. Like of course if you believe in God, but like keep praying, keep pushing, just work hard, like really hard and just keep faith. Yeah.
And lastly, I hear the spiritual. Right? So does that come from your culture, your family? Like
so I was raised in a Catholic home.
Okay.
And, like, at first, you know, like, you go to church as a kid, you're bored and stuff. And then you, like, when I was in puberty, I was like, does God even exist? Or this is just, like, some cultural thing? But then when this happened, me coming to America, I was just like, God is real. That's it. Like, that's it.
That's it, huh? Got your proof.
Yeah.
All right, cool deal. All right, so we're going to take a break. I got my man Jody coming back. Of course, this is brought to you by WJ Med Spa. Again, I got to get over there to get my facial. I think the whole crew's got a facial except for me. So I'm going to come check y'all out, get my facial, get my chiropractic cracked. And again, make sure you go to the website and check out WJ Med Spa. Again, this is Sports Collective TV. Coming up next, I got my man Jody. We're going to talk about some sickle cell trait conversations. And then we'll be back with your 20-second timeout Chasing Hoop Dream segment. So again, shout us out. What's the count? We'll be right back.
AskAlien.com. Media marketing experts here to help you grow your business into the next level and boost your sales. Visit us to learn more. AskAlien.com. SportsLifeRadio.com.
Keeping Our Lungs Safe has been part of the local initiatives that have been going on to educate our decision makers about, the impact of flavored tobacco, specifically menthol, in the African American community. Right. And so we actually were at the LA County Board of Supervisors office a few weeks ago where they were having a meeting to discuss an ordinance that would ban all flavored tobacco products and vaping products, including menthol, in certain areas of Los Angeles. And they actually ended up passing that ban.
So we finally got a tax passed, which was Proposition 56, and that was a couple of years ago. That put a $2 tax on cigarettes and vaping.
That's why they're so expensive.
Yes.
Thank
you
God.
Can pat me on the back.
So you thought that
slave trade. So when we see Harriet Tubman, we need to look at it from that lens, and that ever since then, this plant has been killing us in one way or another.
Right.
All right, welcome back to Sports TV. I'm your host, moderator Ferran, aka WDC. Again, we want to thank you for listening in. This segment is special, near and dear, because I'm a sickle cell trait carrier, and a lot of athletes, if you've seen in the media, have collapsed and died from what they say in sickle cell trait exertion with rhabdomyolysis. So again, this is important conversation for our sports, our athletes, for our parents and coaches, to make sure that you understand the impacts and the risk factors of sickle cell trait, because there are risk factors. A lot of people aren't aware that we have risk factors as far as exertional sickling and exercising, collapsing, dehydration. I mean, you're supposed to drink half your body weight in ounces per day to avoid dehydration. So a lot of times when we're out talking to people, I mean, it's challenging to drink that much water, but you're supposed to drink half your body weight in ounces and water every day to not be dehydrated. So again, WDCONSCT.org is my foundation. I collapsed. I experienced the rhabdomyolysis with the sickle cell trait. Blessed to survive that and live through that. And now I get to go out and speak. We're actually traveling after the show up to Camp Roberts to speak where I collapsed at. Tomorrow morning, we're speaking at 2 different bases up there. So my man here, Jody, is my teammate. I have sickle cell trait. He has sickle cell disease. If you've seen him on the social media platform with me, he's the gospel rapper. We perform Battle of the Genes at the health fairs, at churches, at colleges, at events. So he goes with me to share his story, and we actually performed the Battle of the Genes song with the Soldiers. I just wanted to bring him up here real quick, besides being a Denver Bronco fan. Just to talk about, man, introduce yourself first. Let them know who you are.
My name is Jody Johnson, born and raised in South Side of Chicago. By the way, LBC. Live in LBC right now. I'm a gospel rapper living with sickle cell.
52 years old, ladies and gentlemen. So the medical books, we got to keep. We're actually dealing with the medical books and changing some of the conversations in there, because for a male, they say only about 47, 46 for a male, and female about 47. So people are now living longer with this inherited disease. It is inherited, it's not contagious. And so we're out just to kind of re-educate the community about sickle cell trait and sickle cell disease. So many myths and stigmas. What do you want people to know about sickle cell, man?
You can live, and you actually can beat this disease. It's all about, like you said, drinking plenty of fluids, taking care of your health. I know my limitations. See, I get sick when I fly a lot. My hands swell up. Especially when I go to Denver. It's really a killer in Denver. But in keeping God number one, because I was raised in the Christian home. But, when you get 18, you stray away. I start going to the clubs and stuff, hanging out, and had a lot of wake-up calls. And what's so crazy, my first major crisis when I got to California was when I had a toothache. And that's when it triggered other stuff in my body. And I had my gallbladder exploded in 92. My whole body turned yellow, like jaundice yellow. And my life changed after that.
You had a chasing the hoop dreams.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Play basketball.
You know what? And when I was in junior high school, me and my brother was at Vets Park right there off of Wardlow. We played from sun up to sundown. Never had no sickle cell problems. We beat all kinds of teams. I was around like 13, 11. Never had no crises. And I went to college for 4 years. So I made the team in 86. But once they find out that I had sickle cell, they were like, no, out of here. You ain't got to say nothing else. So that kind of crushed me a little bit. Because I love sports, football, basketball.
Who's your basketball team?
My basketball, I'm a fan of the game, but I'm from Chicago. I'm a Michael Jordan, so I'm a Bulls fan.
Obviously.
But I love LeBron and
You
Anthony
love
Davis.
LeBron?
You know what I mean? His game.
His discipline.
His game. Yeah.
Everybody likes LeBron's discipline. I think
game,
that's what it is.
What I'm saying? And he keeps himself in shape, And we're gonna take it this year. That's what I believe.
Oh, so you following the
I'm
Lakers?
Anti-Clippers. They gotta win one first, so they can say LA they town. They ain't won jack. So
this is what I deal with.
They can't talk because they got Paul George and Kawhi. Man, please. Anyway,
And your Broncos are doing what?
We like what 3 and something.
What about you?
That's still my team.
And baseball?
Baseball, I don't like baseball
at all.
I like playing on the video game, but I don't like.
Yeah, we play video games and baseball.
I came back. I was down what?
Whatever, man. We're not here to talk about that. We're not talking about PlayStation.
Nah, but you know what? It's been a blessing. Actually, by me I've been bullied as well. I went to. When I was in kindergarten, I got bullied because my eyes was yellow. The kids didn't want to touch me, didn't want to play with me. So as I grew up, that made me more sheltered, made me a mama's boy. It was hard for me to trust people until I met my wife. And then I kind of grew out of all of that and then started back going to church and everything. And I found my passion, which is music. Music helps me not even think about sickle cell. Only time I think about sickle cell is this weather. When it's raining and it's cold, that's when I really think about sickle cell.
Yeah.
I'm always fatigued, but I try to stay busy, like what we're doing tomorrow, and going to church and, staying in the studio. So with this disease, you can beat and live with this disease. Don't let it overcome you. You got to overcome it.
Definitely. I got a couple pictures up here, too. Fred, if you could drop those in there. Again, sickle cell disease. It's inherited. African Americans, we are number one. However, it's no longer a color. We could spend the next 20 years talking about it's not a black gene or a black disease because it's not.
It's a world disease.
The Latin community is number 2, but you could be Mediterranean, European, Caucasian, Asian descent. You got to know where your ancestors are from because it has a purpose in life. It fights malaria. So when those people got malaria in those parts of the country, if they had the trait, they were able to survive malaria. A lot of people died if they didn't have sickle cell traits. So the body created that defective gene, and that's how those races started to survive. But now we're all mingled, live in different parts of the country now. Our ancestors came across, forcefully or not. However, that gene was passed on through our bloodlines. And so now, again, you can be any color. There's no longer a color.
It don't discriminate.
Yeah, it doesn't discriminate. So as you can see on the screen, red blood cells, that carries oxygen through your body. When that red blood cell mutates, it becomes hard and stiff, sticky, mucus, and it sticks. Imagine the 405 freeway traffic jam. Imagine that is what happens into their blood veins and their and where there's no oxygen getting to that parts of the body is where pain, because there's no oxygen being delivered. So again, it's very important. Just go to WDCONSET.org. You can hit that QR code. That'll take you to our survey. My daughter created that survey. Shouts out to Deja. Out of my 3 daughters, she inherited sickle cell trait, so she's my teammate in this work. So she created that survey. You can hit that with your camera phone, and it will take you to our website to do the survey and let us know what you know about sickle cell trait. And it is anonymous. So again, we don't, unless you leave your email address, we don't identify that. We use that to find out what people know in the community. All right, Jody, anything else, man, you want to say about your sports? I didn't think so.
I just say let's just stay educated and support sickle cell awareness, and because this is our life, this is what we live every day. I have 2 daughters that has the trait. My wife, she passed away, but it wasn't from sickle cell. She passed away almost 7 years ago, but she died in her sleep from high blood pressure, and that's another number 1 killer amongst Hispanics and blacks. So We just have to stay healthy, stay hydrated, and let's keep it going.
All right, cool. All right, so we're going to take this break. We got the next segment coming up, 20-second timeout / Chasing Hoop Dreams right here on Morris Media. Shout us out. What's the count?
Keeping Our Lungs Safe has been part of the local initiatives that have been going on to educate our decision makers about, the impact of flavored tobacco, specifically menthol, in the African American community. Right. And so we actually were at the LA County Board of Supervisors office a few weeks ago where they were having a meeting to discuss an ordinance that would ban all flavored tobacco products and vaping products, including menthol, in certain areas of Los Angeles. And they actually ended up passing that ban.
So we finally got a tax passed, which was Proposition 56, and that was a couple of years ago. That put a $2 tax on cigarettes and vaping.
That's why they're so expensive.
Yes.
Thank
you
God.
Can pat me on the back.
So you thought that
slave trade. So when we see Harriet Tubman, we need to look at it from that lens, and that ever since then, this plant has been killing us in one way or another.
Right.
AskElia.com. Media marketing experts here to help you grow your business into the next level and boost your sales. Visit us to learn more. AskElia.com.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm blessed, my brother.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, did you see the game last night?
Oh, that was a good game.
But did you see the shot?
I lost money from that shot.
Oh, man, that shot was cold, man.
Hated it, but it was good. Damn. What's in those jeans?
You really want to know?
I do.
Yeah. Exhaustion, muscle spasms, asthmatic issues, unexpected sickle cell trait crises.
Damn, are you serious? When I was young, I found out I had sickle cell trait. My mom's told me, but I ain't have no knowledge of it. But when I got older, I had a child, and the doctor told me my daughter has sickle cell trait. Do you know the fact that both parents have sickle cell trait? There's a 50% chance the child may have the trait, and 25% chance the child may have the disease.
Hey, that's what's the count. Do you know that 2.5 million people in the United States have sickle cell trait, 300 million people globally? I didn't find out I had sickle cell trait until I was in the Army, 10 years. Next thing you know, I had a sickle cell trait exertion site.
Sickle cell? I thought that was a black gene or something.
Nah, man, the Latin community is number 2. 1 out of 36,000 babies are being born with sickle cell disease. You could be Caucasian, Mediterranean, European. You gotta know your bloodline, man. There is an inherited gene in our community that has been forgotten. The name is sickle cell trait. WDCONSCT, also known as What's the Count, is out to bring awareness, education, and prevention to people all over the globe. Want more information? Call us now at 323-215-5384 or visit www.wdconsct.org.
I'm here.
Welcome back to Sports Active TV, hosted moderator Fran, aka WDC. I was talking to Magdalena,
Yes.
and she mentioned that, as you may not know, to play college sports now, everybody has to have a sickle cell trait test done in all levels, D1, D2, D3. So what did you want to share about that?
Yeah, so when I was back home this summer, I got an email from my college saying that I have to get tested for sickle cell. And I was like, oh, what is this? And then I showed email to my mother, and she was like, I don't know what that is either. So she asked one doctor in our country, and she was like, oh, no, I have no idea what that is. And then she asked another doctor, like a big-time doctor, and he was like, oh, like, I gotta, like, do a little bit of research to know, like, so I'll get back to you, like, in a few days.
Yeah.
And he got back to us, and he was like, that's just, like, some disease they got, like, treated, like, they got, like, tested for in America. Like, even if she has it, like, she's going to be fine. Yeah. So we were like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And this, again, about 2010, the NCAA made it mandatory for all student athletes, and it wasn't really to protect the students. It was more that the colleges didn't want to get sued anymore because athletes were collapsing and dying, and the families were suing the schools. So now they put the burden back, or they put the conversation back on the family members. So now they have to have a test done or sign a waiver, and so the school is no longer liable. And I'll have no problem with that. The only problem I have with that is because there are other red blood cell conditions. So you have thalassemia, C trait, D trait, like 400 different types of red blood cell conditions that can have effects like sickle cell trait, but they only focus on sickle cell trait. So that's my problem when I go out into the colleges, is that there are other red blood cell conditions. So don't just mark, just check for one, check for all of them, because people can have those kind of complications exercising. So again, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem.
So we're going to bring up the 20-second timeout segment here, Chasing Hoop Dreams. Give us some basketball. You said you played ball in your country for a little bit. What was that like, playing basketball?
Like in high school, for me, like all coaches I had different coaches, but everybody was just like, okay, you're center, hands up, and that's it. Don't let the ball get in the rim. That's what I did my freshman and my sophomore year of high school. But then when I came to America...
Wait, hold on. So literally that was playing the center
that was,
because of the height.
Yeah.
How did you feel?
I was the tallest on the team, and like just, just defense.
How did you feel about that? Did you feel left out? What was going on?
Kind of that too, but it also was like, oh, they need me.
Oh.
Like I was like, okay, like let's do it.
Like, so that was confidence.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, they had like let's say respect.
Oh,
yeah.
So all that bullying and all that stuff played off on the court.
That went off.
It went away.
Went away.
So you're gonna say coming to United States?
Yeah, I was like, okay, basketball is a whole other deal here. Like so much more detailed and all of that. So when I came here to play basketball too for high school, my coaches were telling me different things, but I was like in high school, I was always the tallest, so I always played center. Yeah. So it was just like hands up, defense. That's all you gotta do.
We know that developing basketball IQ. So how did you develop your IQ? By just having your hands up and
like back home, I was watching just NBA highlights on YouTube, but because it was like hard to find the channel, like we didn't have like really on TV like live games. So when I came here, like when I had like TV in my host family, like NBA was always on, and so I was kind of watching that, and then all these like college basketball players and stuff, it was like you can see them on TV, and everything looked like so serious. And back home, it was just like, oh, do you want to play basketball? Like you play without rules, without nothing. And then you come here, you see like it's like really like different. Like people like actually like care about it and like put work into it. So that's how like.
So how is it for you now playing basketball?
It's like I started like loving it, like gotta be honest with you, like more than volleyball.
Really?
Yeah.
A little bit more or a lot more?
Well, I don't know if my coach is hearing this, but a lot more.
A lot more. So you hang out at Venice Beach. I know you know Everybody Hates Chris. I mean, he's been on our show, so I know you hang out with those. Yeah, you hang out with those guys. So what's that?
How I first found out about Venice Ball is they had like a Nipsey Hussle event. So I went there, like a Nipsey Hussle court, like in Crenshaw, and like there was like a celebrity game and like a dunk contest. So I went to that show. It was like pretty like limited or whatever, and I was standing like at the gate. And they were like, you know what, like you're tall, why don't you come in? So because I'm tall, I could come in, I guess, I don't know. So I came in, and it was like really, really fun, and didn't know that Venice Ball existed. So I went on Instagram, and I saw all these like tags and photos and stuff like that. So I clicked on it, and I saw like that's a whole like a whole
world
group. Yeah. So like I started following them, Venice Ball, and then from there, I just like, I saw their schedule, like when they post schedules, what they have, what kind of events they have. I just like, when I'm free, I just go to their events, and then, that's how it all like got
to that point, right? So now today, I mean, you're playing with our broadcaster and our teammate Don, who's helped coaching the Space Jams.
Yeah, Space Jam.
So how'd you get into the women's Drew? Just by hanging out at the Venice Beach?
So they had another event. It was called Street Ball. It was 3-on-3, but just like men. And then Alicia Taylor was there, and she's like captain on my women's Drew League team. So she saw me and she approached me and she was like, who are you? Blah, blah, blah. You're so tall. Like, give me your Instagram, blah, blah. And then in August or September, she DM'd me saying like, hey, do you want to join my team? We're going to play in Women's Drew League. We are called Space Jam. And I was like, you know what? Like, why not? Like, yes, I will. And that's how
how you got in there.
Yes.
We got some pictures up here, obviously at the beach, because there's water back there. What's going on?
That's Venice Beach League courts. Yeah.
Yeah. Got another one, Fredo?
That was
modeling right here?
Yeah, that was shot for SNS sneakers and stuff for Los Angeles. They are like they're also like collabing or whatever with Venice Basketball League. Yeah.
So what's next?
What's next?
Yeah.
Well, if we get to playoffs in Women's Drew League, then that's next. If not, Alicia also put me on the roster for I forgot the name of the league, but they're playing on Jumpman LA courts, like on the third floor.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
So you're still chasing the hoop dreams? What are you chasing? What are you looking for in that basketball world?
I'm chasing like being like a big time or whatever. If this college thing works out, if I play like basketball for them too, then I'm gonna like keep going with basketball. If that doesn't work out, then I think like I should like figure out something else.
So you playing dual sports.
Yeah.
How you managing your time?
It's hard. It's really, really hard. So when I got into college, I learned that time management is a big thing, really big thing. You have to like study, play sports, go and practice and everything, and you can't like be failing classes. So being in college like taught me to like how to like make time for yourself.
So I know my man Cali Sportsman, he likes stats. So what are your basketball stats? So are you
basketball
decent?
stats? Well, I was only playing like in Women's Drew League this year. Like high school, I don't really remember, but in Women's Drew League, like I played like last 2 games pretty like a fair amount of minutes, and I just like basically I just get like rebounds and stuff. Yeah.
What is it like playing? What is it like playing in the women's Drew? What is that experience?
It's fun experience. It's different experience. I could say it's a great experience too. I think I'm the youngest of all of the teams. Not sure, but like everybody that plays, they're not in college. They're like all done playing professionally or done playing college. They're all like women.
All women. What are you learning in the women's Drew? What are you taking away from it?
When I get like playing time and stuff, that's an experience, right? Because you can't just like shoot by yourself on one basket and then think you're good or whatever. When you're actually playing in a game, then you get like experience like how is it to play like actual basketball.
Yeah.
You know? Like all these players that I'm playing against or with, they're all like experienced.
They're ballers.
Players. Yeah,
people discount women's. What's your views on the WNBA?
That's a whole nother world. So like couple weekends when we had like few games at the beginning, like a few not few, but like 1 or 2 would from players from WNBA. They would like come each weekend or to watch. Or I heard last year one WNBA player even played for one team
in the women's group.
Yeah, so when they come, then like people start like showing up. They want to see like that player in person. They want to meet her and stuff like that. So yeah.
Do you model your basketball game with any women in WNBA play? Like who do you, when you look to improve your position? Anybody?
Not really. Honestly, I forgot her name. She's tall and she's blonde, but her game, like when I was having a coach on one in October, his name is Marquis. He's coaching in Australia right now, but he was coaching me for a little while. He showed me some highlights from certain WNBA players, and I saw like that specific player. We were looking like at the videos and the highlights. What is she doing? And then when he coached me, he was teaching me those moves. So when I saw her again playing, I was like, "Oh dang, I know how to do that. Oh dang, I know how to do that one." Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
How's it playing with our teammate Don, who is the people reading? He brings that spirituality to your.
Yeah, he couldn't make the last two games. This last game, I think he said in the group chat that he was sick.
Yeah, he's had a cold last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he had a cold. But aside of that, I think he's an amazing coach and he's pretty spiritual, like you said. And yeah, it's fun.
What do you think? What does he bring to the team? I know.
Well, what does he bring to the team?
Like encouragement. I mean, I'm sure he pulls players to the side.
Encouragement, most definitely. Like, no matter if we win or lose, like after the game, he's always the one that's talking to us, saying like heads up, stuff like that. We got the next one, or if we win, like great job, ladies. That's the teamwork. Blah blah. Yeah, he's that person.
So, what do you want to say to the young women that's out here playing dual sports, basketball or whatever two sports they're playing? Yeah. What do you want to speak to them about?
Well, I would say the same thing. Keep pushing, man. Like, yes, it's tough, and it's not tough physically as much as mentally. That's for sure. But just like have some faith, like for real. Like, don't give up.
Yeah. And your mental toughness, does that transfer from sport to sport, or do you have a different mindset from volleyball to basketball?
When I'm playing basketball, my mindset is tougher.
It's tougher?
Yeah.
How do you?
I don't know why or how, but that's probably because my love for basketball is bigger. So like when I'm playing basketball, I'm more competitive, and I'm like, I want to get this bucket, this and that. And when you're playing volleyball, it's like volleyball is more like slow sport, I would say. Like it's more like basketball, you run a lot. Then in volleyball, it's just like you're standing, you pass, they set you, and you hit the ball. Yeah. So like, yeah, it's different.
So basketball is without telling the coach at your college, basketball may be something you're looking to take
most
on.
Definitely.
Okay, we're gonna wrap it up. Anything you want to say? Did I miss any questions? Anything you want people to know about?
No, I don't think so.
You think you everything? Yeah. So give me your social media so they can make sure they follow you along and track your career.
So my Instagram is, do I spell it?
Yeah, you can spell it.
Okay. MAGGDALLENNA.
Right. Yeah. So you can go to Sports Collective Media. I've tagged her in the shows leading up to today's, and she'll be in. Of course, we're going to post the post interviews and things like that. So she'll be in the Instagram on our page as well. So. Again, thanks everybody for listening in. Shouts out to my man, Cali Sportsman. Shouts out to DBC. Again, if you need more information about sickle cell trait and you have an athlete in your family, WDCONSCT.org. Or you got a veteran military personnel, WDCONSCT.org. Again, shouts out to WJ Med Spa for our sponsorship next week.
Coming live from the Bay, yeah, that way. K-Talk Sports all day, LA. Dropping knowledge, high school, college, trying to score, play-by-play. NFL, NBA, NHL, that's right, you name it. They gon' bring it to you live. Talking sports and entertainment, from the famous and the, you name it. Cover all sports, from the football.